For today's headlines, one common alert level for NCR-eyed. Spread of fake news intensifies as election season nears. General public's vax to start soon. UAE flies aid to Afghanistan. National ID registrants open bank accounts without initial deposit. Metro ICU beds now at 78%. Southwest monsoon intertropical convergence zone to bring rains. Good morning, I am Venice Bautista and this is Tribune News on Cue. Today is September 13, 2021 and these are the latest news this Monday morning. The government will no longer use community quarantine classification in the National Capital Region. Instead, it will use a common alert level, a government official said Sunday. Interior Undersecretary Epimako Densing said in a television interview that the terms GCQ, ECQ, and MECQ will no longer be used because from September 16, we will be following a different set of guidelines. Under the new COVID-19 policy, he said only certain establishments and activities will be restricted instead of placing the entire region under a lockdown. He added that under alert levels 1 to 4, granular lockdowns will be implemented instead of the region-wide lockdowns. However, the government could still implement total lockdowns under alert level 5. He said, and I quote, "Total lockdown will be alert level 5. In our old language, this is ECQ. People will be restricted from going outside," end quote. He added that the Interagency Task Force for the Management of Emerging Infectious Diseases will finalize the proposed policy on Monday and that the Metro Manila local chief executives have unanimously agreed to place the NCR under only one alert level. Senator Christopher Bong Go on Monday warned the public not to fall victim to fake news and disinformation being pushed by those who wish to take advantage of the vulnerabilities of Filipinos amid the effects of the pandemic. Senator Christopher Bong Go on Monday warned the public not to fall victim to the fake news and disinformation. He called on Filipinos to stay vigilant and validate information being spread in various communication channels in order not to be victimized by black propaganda. Go also reiterated that he has no interest in running for president in the upcoming elections despite the trust and support given to him by his party mates and supporters. Hence, he said he finds it irrelevant that he is being targeted by those spreading falsehoods. Go assured Filipinos that despite the various issues thrown against the administration, they remain focused on fulfilling their mandate and in leading the country towards overcoming the pandemic. Once the national government receives an expected 61 million doses of vaccines against the coronavirus disease this month and in October, it will immediately begin the inoculation of the general population. Vaccine Shar Secretary Carlito Galvez Jr., also the chief of the National Task Force against COVID-19, said over the weekend the government is expecting 12 million doses of Sinovac and 20 million doses of Pfizer this month. An additional 600,000 doses of AstraZeneca vaccine are scheduled to be delivered today. Based on Galvez's report to President Duterte during last Friday's meeting that was aired on Saturday morning, set for delivery until October are 1 million doses each of Sputnik and Japan-donated AstraZeneca, 8 to 10 million doses from the COVAX facility, and 3 to 5 million doses of Moderna. In October, Galvez said another 10 million doses of Sinovac, 10 million doses of Pfizer, 3 million doses of Moderna, 1 million doses of AstraZeneca, 3 to 5 million doses from the COVAX facility, and 1.5 million doses from bilateral donations are set to be delivered. Among expected supplies to be received this month is the single-dose Sputnik Light from Russia's Gamaleya Research Institute. To date, the Philippines has received 54,794,130 doses, with 38,625,270 of these have been administered. Tribune News on Q will be back after these short reminders.
Magpabakuna kayo. This public service advisory is brought to you by Daily Tribune and 100.3 RJFM. Magandang araw mga katribo! Narito na ang mga makakasama nyo tuwing umaga sa programang Gising Na. Roy Pelovelo, Comfy Manalo, Chinky Mangkukang, Vernon Velasco, Kim Sancha at Chirk Balagtas. Abangan ang programang Gising Na mula alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga sa Facebook page ng Daily Tribune.
Ilabas ng mainit na kape at samahan kami sa inyong pag-almusal, mga katribo.
Sama-sama natin alamin ang mga natatagong istorya sa mga latest na kaganapan sa loob at labas ng bansa.
Simulan ang bawat umaga with good vibes sa mga informative and recreational segments dito sa ating programa.
Maaari niyo rin ibahagi sa amin ang inyong opinion via Daily Tribune Facebook page at Tribune Now sa YouTube.
Makichika na rin sa latest showbiz happenings mga katribo.
Kaya naman, magkita-kita po tayo mula Lunes hanggang Biyernes, alas 8 hanggang alas 9 ng umaga at magsama-sama po tayo sa
Gising Na!
Magpabakuna kayo.
It's time for the world to know. Outstanding Filipinos in America. The 11th Outstanding Filipinos in America Awards 2021. A salute to the heroes of coronavirus. Coming back live in person at Carnegie Hall in New York City, home of the TOFA Awards since 2011.
We're back on Tribune News on Q. For our world news, the United Arab Emirates has set up an air bridge to deliver tons of aid to Afghanistan after the Taliban takeover, a Kabul airport operations manager told AFP on Saturday. The wealthy UAE, a close U.S. ally, is one of a number of Gulf states that have been key staging posts for evacuation flights for foreigners and Afghans, alongside Qatar, Kuwait, and Bahrain. Ibrahim Warafi said that from the 3rd of September, the UAE government has activated an air bridge corridor for humanitarian aid. Warafi is General Manager and Regional Director of GAAC, a UAE-based company that has provided ground and security handling services at Kabul Airport since November 2020. He said that from that day and until now, they received and handled 11 flights almost on a daily basis and have handled 255 tons of medical aid and food items. On Saturday, 2 UAE aircraft unloaded dozens of aid packages containing roast minced veal, powdered milk, cooking oil, and medical supplies, an AFP correspondent said. The UAE was one of the only 3 countries to recognize Taliban rule between 1996 and 2001. It currently hosts ousted President Ashraf Ghani, who fled Kabul as the Taliban entered the city. While Kabul Airport has yet to receive its first international flight since the Taliban takeover, technicians at the vital facility have been racing round the clock to bring it back to life. Warafi said efforts to make the airport fully functioning again are underway. Meanwhile, Pakistan International Airlines will resume flights from Islamabad to Kabul next week, a spokesperson told AFP Saturday, becoming the first foreign commercial service since the Taliban seized power last month. One of the benefits of registering for a national ID card under the Philippine Identification System, or PhilSys, is the ability to open a bank account. Land Bank of the Philippines has partnered with the Philippine Statistics Authority to co-locate at PhilSys registration sites nationwide and provide unbanked registrants with their own accounts in support of the national government's financial inclusion agenda. As of September 2, a total of 5.3 million unbanked national ID registrants have opened LBP accounts. Bringing unbanked Filipinos into the financial mainstream lays the groundwork for inclusive growth especially as we fast-track initiatives toward economic recovery and sustained development, LBP President and Chief Executive Officer Cecilia Borromeo said in a previous statement. Access to formal banking services encourages people to save money, repay loans, invest in financial products, and guide them to financial independence, she added. LBP issues an agent banking card, even without an initial deposit, to registrants aged at least 18 years. The ABC may be used for cash in, cash out, and transfer funds at any LBP branch or agent banking partner. The holder can also withdraw cash at MasterCard, accepting automated teller machines, perform cashless transactions, shop online, and receive government subsidies digitally. Either one of identification cards issued by the Social Security System, Philippine Health Insurance Corporation, Professional Regulation Commission, Philippine Postal Corporation, Maritime Industry Authority and Schools, driver's license, passport, National Bureau of Investigation or police clearance, or senior citizen, Overseas Filipino Worker or Overseas Workers Welfare Administration ID may be presented along with a PSA transaction slip. A barangay certificate indicating the full name, birth date, birthplace, civil status, age, current address, signature, and ID photo may be shown in lieu of any of the allowed ID. Signed into law by President Rodrigo Duterte in August 2018, Republic Act 11055 or the Philippine Identification System Act aims to establish a single national ID for all Filipinos and resident aliens. As the government proposed a new alert level system in Metro Manila, the intensive care unit beds for COVID-19 in the capital region is now at 78%, the Department of Health said Sunday. Based on the latest DOH case bulletin, of the 1,400 dedicated ICU beds in the national capital region, 1,091 are currently occupied. The DOH also reported that 65% of total isolation beds and 72% of ward beds were occupied. Meanwhile, the mechanical ventilators in NCR is now at 61%. Nationally, 76% or 3,175 of the 4,178 dedicated ICU beds were occupied. 68% of isolation beds are currently in use. Mechanical ventilators in use also increased at 57%, a day after the country logged its new all-time record of 26,303 COVID-19 cases. The country reported 21,411 new COVID-19 infections on Sunday, bringing the total caseload to 2,227,367. The newly confirmed cases pushed the total active cases to 181,951, of which 86% are mild, 9.5% are asymptomatic, 1.3% are severe, and 0.6% are in critical condition. Total number of patients recovered from the respiratory disease rose to 2,010,271 after 25,049 more patients recovered. The country's COVID-19 death toll climbed to 35,145 after 168 new fatalities were recorded. Out of the 78,274 individuals who were screened for COVID-19 on September 10, 27% turned out positive. The DOH noted that 65 duplicates were removed from the total case count. Of these, 57 are recoveries and 1 is a death. Moreover, 58 cases that were previously tagged as recoveries were reclassified as deaths after final validation, added. The agency also said that all labs were operational on September 10, while 5 laboratories were not able to submit their data to the COVID-19 document repository system. Based on data in the last 14 days, the 5 non-reporting labs contribute on average 1.6% of samples tested and 2.1% of it positive individuals. Tribune News on Q will be back. Stay with us. are back once again in Tribune News on Q. The Philippine Atmospheric, Geophysical, and Astronomical Services Administration on Monday said that the southwest monsoon is expected to bring rains in Luzon, while the intertropical convergence zone is currently affecting southern Mindanao. PAGASA added that Ilocos Region, Mimaropa, Zamboanga Peninsula, Bangsamoro, Batanes, Babuyan Islands, Zambales, Bataan, Abra, and Benguet will have cloudy skies with scattered rain showers and thunderstorms, while Metro Manila and the rest of the country will have partly cloudy to cloudy skies with isolated rain showers. Temperature will range from 24.8 degrees Celsius to 29 degrees Celsius. That wraps up the stories this morning. But before we go, we would like to thank the SM Store, Arada Center, the Department of Tourism, MG Motors, Hina Motors, Security Bank, and Overseas Community Affairs Council member Alan Lin of Republic of China for their continued support. Again, this is Venice Bautista, and you are watching Tribune News on Q. Stay safe, stay healthy, and stay at home. Good morning!
Catch the latest news on our website tribune.net.ph and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel, Tribune Now. The Daily Tribune is one with the nation in facing the COVID-19 crisis, and in line with this, the Daily Tribune digital edition and press reader is now available for free online. You can also download the Daily Tribune app on Apple Store for iOS users and Google Play for Android users to get the latest and most comprehensive news online. Daily Tribune is also inviting everyone to join its Community Viber Katribu to get updates on the freshest and hottest news and entertainment stories of the day. Tarcito emoticons are also available on our Community Viber. Just click on the link in this video to join.